Welcome to another Quantum Conversation. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Beautiful hearts, welcome to this very sacred space that we're opening in this episode of Quantum Conversations. Can you feel the Lemurian frequency? Can you feel the Sirian energy? This is all part of us, and today we're going to go on a journey of conversation to reveal what this is all about. Hillis Pugh is with us today, and we're so pleased to have him because he is a high vibrational person. I'm sure you can feel that already. And he is a rare Sirian Lemurian lineage teacher. What does that mean? This really means it's a soul connection beyond all soul connections, the essence of who we are. Let's learn about this and go back to Lemuria and Sirius. Hi, Hillis. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Lauren, it's such a pleasure, and I've been eagerly yet patiently awaiting our meeting for months now, and I'm happy that we are able to connect in this physical space. So our energies have been intertwined for some time.
Yes, all of this year. It's been interesting trying to get this pretty much since last year. And here we are in the eighth month of this year. So I'm
Really?
very happy to be here with you as well. Our Soul Shine celebration featured you, and that was
Yes.
so special. That really was. It was really beautiful. And anything with Lemuria really speaks to our heart and our soul. And so, as we talk today, we're going to learn more about that. But I really want to learn about your personal journey, your awakening experience. Here you are, you're a male, and there are not so many male spiritual teachers out there. Yes, they're out there, but I always am thrilled to see spiritual teachers in the suit of a man because you are on your path and you're such a great guide for others, other men, and other people coming on their path. So what was that like for you? You were mentioning that it begins with a quantum technique, and that technique is gratitude. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
So first, Lauren, I want to say thank you and appreciate you very much for opening this space to be a part of and to share. So thank you for that. And part of my process has been less of an awakening and more of a remembering, because that's what we're here to do. We are here to remember what we can do with this physical body, what we are capable of. And for those who know me, and for those who don't know me, may be familiar, or those who know me may be familiar with my journey, how it started back in 2008. And those who are not familiar, let's go on a little journey, shall we? So my gratitude journey, started with the financial crisis of 2008. Lost my job, lost my boyfriend, lost everything. My whole life was just turned upside down. And during that year, it was when I found a new level of appreciation, a new level of gratitude, where I allowed myself to put my pride aside, ask for help from friends and family, which is something that at the time in my life I seldom did. Being in my late 20s, early 30s, yeah, late 20s. Wow, late 20s, early 30s. Telling my age, but age brings wisdom. And so it was in that space of really honing that energy and really stepping into the space of gratitude and appreciating friends and family in a different light, in a different way, and even allowing myself to be open to receive what it is that I needed at the time for myself, whether if it was emotional support, financial support, whatever it was there. And it just allowed me to start my path of remembering.
I love how you say remembering instead of awakening. And so, as you began to remember, what happened? Because here we are, you said 2008, and that was a beacon year for many. I
Yes.
remember I think it was 2008 myself when I found my Lemurian family, the Lemuria list. I don't know if you remember the Lemuria list online. It was a email
No,
list. Okay, that's
I
where I
was
find,
just,
yeah, go ahead.
no, so at that time I was just really starting out because I was expressing myself in a different light through my gratitude blog, through my poetry, through different ways of expression. And it was in this way of expression that I really began to remember the love of communication, the way of how to connect with people was through my words, written or spoken. And it was in this manner that things began to click and things began to flow differently. I know, but I wish I knew about the Lemurian list back in 2008, but maybe it wasn't my time yet.
Well, for me, all right, not to go into my story, but 2008, it was for me a remembrance of Lemuria that I heard 10 years earlier in 1998. And that rocked my world. So 10 years had gone by. And so then in 2008, so that was a landmark year for many because many were like, oh, 4 years until 2012, right? And that was a window. In all seriousness, that was a
Yeah.
window into this great unfolding that we have now. And you were part of that, right? So 2008 was really when you began remembering your soul journey. And then 2012 hit. And I just find it really fascinating. I was one of the few, no, I was one of the many light workers, gullible maybe, who really was waiting for something to happen on the 21st of December 2012. And on
Mm.
December 22nd, I was in Peru and I woke up and I saw the world that with the powers that be that were still in charge. And I was rather depressed for a couple of years. No, no, no. I'm sorry. No, a couple of days. Actually, it could have been a couple of weeks. And I remember my husband saying, are you ever going to be happy again? But then I realized that something did happen, and it happened one heart at a time, one heart at a time, one soul at a time. This was not to be a group activity, but one heart at a time. And look at what happened with you, and look at what continues to come around that window of 2012. So it really is magnificent. So then, what were you doing during 2012? What happened for you in that shift of that timeline?
Well, the thing that stands out to me the most is that 2012 was the year of the dragon. And I am a dragon.
Ah, you were born a dragon. You were born a Chinese astrology. Wow.
Yes, yes, I was born a dragon. So every 12 years I celebrate the dragon, no, regardless of the element, whether it's fire. I was born the year of the fire dragon. So in
Okay.
2024 was the element wood. So it doesn't matter the element, I just celebrate that energy. And the reason why I celebrate that energy is because of the guardianship, the loyalty, the protector, the knowledge keeper. So it's all these things that are reverence that I resonate with. And honestly, I don't remember what I was doing that's what happened in 2012. I went to Paris for the first time, fell in love, moved to New York, and my whole life just took a whole other trajectory. Meaning that if that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be a psychic medium. I wouldn't be a healer.
Ah,
I wouldn't be, all the things that I am. So I appreciate that time. So that made it more luxurious, more palpable, more tangible, and all these things that I am now, more appreciative of that one thing. And this, and that's all that it takes is that one thing. And who knows if I wouldn't have made that choice, what would I be doing now?
wow. I
Yeah.
love it. And it's testimony to the year of your sign, your Chinese astrology sign. Every 12 years, we all have one. And it's a remarkable year. It can be a standout year, right? And
Yes.
so that was definitely a
Yeah,
standout.
definitely. I mean, it's one of those things, life happens, you go on about your day to day, and then we have these life markers or these life anchors, as I call them. And we tend to forget about them because in the moment they have little significance. But when you pause and allow yourself to reflect and remember, I'm like, wait a minute, it was because my friend told me about this, and then someone came across my path that said the exact same thing, and then this happened. So it's like a chain reaction, and that's what the path of remembrance is. It's a chain reaction to allow you to remember your soul, allow you to remember who you are, because without these little moments, these chain linked moments, we
Hmm.
won't remember who we are. We have these moments of even deja vu, which are reflections of our soul, reflections of the space of remembrance of who we are and what we came here to do.
Thank you. I'm just reveling in that
Mm, I can feel
because
it.
I'm just reveling, getting a little personal here in my own life. I'm a wood snake, and I was born in the year of I'm a wood snake, and this is the year of the wood snake. And it's been interesting, the shift and transition. So what you're helping me to understand is probably I cannot see the forest for the trees at this point. Like we could feel like we're so in the thick of things, but a bird's eye view zoomed out is really where I could find most benefit to really come out of the intensity of every change moment right now into an overall scheme of what's happening. And as I do that, I'm seeing, wow, I'm in a good place. Even though things got a little tumbly and challenging, I'm in a good place. It's all for the better. So you're helping me with that. And I think that helps all of us when we zoom out and say, wow, there's no problem in the present. That's what Eckhart Tolle likes to say. And that all is truly well. And this goes back to our frequency, and this goes back to remembrance. Our soul remembers that essence,
Yes.
right? Not the worry or the frustration or the challenge or the concern or the fear.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Did you want to add anything else before I ask my next question?
Oh yeah, there's something that is coming to my mind that I feel is very prevalent for those who like to plan, for those who like to overthink, like me. In being in these spaces, we allow ourselves to be distracted with these forward concerns of life, or even the backward concerns. Like, well, I shoulda, woulda, coulda, or maybe I'll do this, or maybe I'll do that. But in reality, when we allow ourselves, we talk about it all the time, but it's not truly understood until you live in that space, and that is being fully anchored in that moment. Like me being connected with you in this moment, being fully anchored, fully connected, living in this space of expression is what is most important. Yeah, well, we all have to get up and, go to work the next day. We all got to find something to eat. We all have our worldly concerns. But in the worldly concerns, where we find the most distraction and the less peace. So it's in these moments that we have to find freedom from the worldly distractions to be fully engaged in the moment.
And just those words are an activation as they have literally brought us into a place of stillness within us. And we are active, we are present right now. Thank you. So let's continue with this conversation of light. And let's go to Lemuria
Mm,
and the Syrian Lemurian lineage. Now, why do you call this a rare Syrian Lemurian lineage?
because presently on the planet, there's only two teachers, myself and my teacher who taught me, who attuned me, who are attuned to this special frequency of Sirian Lemurian energy. And the reason why it's called Sirian Lemurian energy because the Syrians were the first to inhabit the planet. They were first here to bring light into this planet. And as they had their existence over time, they became Lemuria and Lemurians. Because we have, and that is a whole other story I can get into about the land of Lemuria, or some people call Mu. It is this space of glory, if you will, the space of peace and paradise. And the reason why it has the connection to Sirius is because every significant landmark on the planet presently, and even at the time, was connected to Sirius, which is our home planet for most of us, not all of us, but it's the center of the galaxy. Because if you understand the law of cause and effect, and if you understand the energetics of the magnetism frequencies, not just on the planet, but off planet as well, anything that happens on Sirius, anything that happens with Sirius A, B, or C affects us all the way here because of the magnetic pull, because it's always the larger that affects the smaller. So anything that we do, ultimately, we are affected by the planet Sirius, which is why it's important to understand the portals, the gateways, the energies, the fluctuations. It's important to understand how the energy and magnetism works, which is why it is the Sirian, the home planet, Memoria or Mu, which is the birthland of this planet, and allowing for that ancient wisdom with galactic language, as I call it, people call it light language, to be of service to assist others in divine ways in the path of remembering, of clearing out what needs to be cleared out, so that way they become their true self, their true essence.
Okay, beautiful. And I have to share this date that we are recording this. This is broadcasting a few days after this. This is August 7th, and the 8-8 portal is open. And that is our connection to Sirius, A, B, and C. And so, what more can you tell us about Sirius? And we know the dolphins and whales come from Sirius B, and and that's the water planet. What else can you tell us about Sirian energies and how is it related to Ra?
Well, you have to understand is that I'm just getting chills, that a lot of people don't know about C, which was the last one to be discovered. And C is more of a harmonized planet. And the reason why that there are three, A, B, and C, is for harmony and balance, as the Trinity, if you will. No, because
Mhm.
there's Trinity and threes everywhere. So you have to understand that this is the reason why everyone is in love with threes or multiple of threes or this divine design. And it was done specifically so that way there's balance in ourselves, in our universe, on our planet. And the reason why we have the pyramids, the reason why we have all the megalithic structures to pay homage to that. So that's why it is in that divine space. In addition to that, what I feel, I wish I could express this buzzing that is coming off of me, coming in me, on me, around me, through, into you who's watching this. But the harmonization, the frequencies is of evolution. And this is what we were designed for and to do. Not saying that the Sirians or Sirius A, B, or C was a lesser space. They reached heights and pinnacles beyond we could ever dream of. But now it's time for us with this remembrance to take it a step further. But we have gotten so lost in the distractions and the mental slavery and the mindsets and whatever everyone else has put out there. It's not allowing us to reach our fullest potential. What I'm being reminded here is the story of Jesus. Now, everyone knows the story of Jesus, how he was missing for 12 years, how he, and mind you, why do we have a school system that's set in 12 years, from first to eighth, and then from ninth to 12th? So we have a 12-year school system. So Jesus at the same time was studying in his 12 years to learn about the mystical energies of Sirius. He learned, and this is where all of this derives, even though this energy is from Mu or Lemuria, whichever one you prefer, but these teachings derive from Sirius. The mystical teachings or the sacred book of the Noctals, which is the Brotherhood of Lemuria. So these teachings were very important to understand how the energy frequencies work, how they operate, and how we can do what we do. Which is why, the famous story about Jesus walking on water, he wasn't walking on water. He was just essentially using the energies to levitate himself, to use the magnetic forces and energies to help him take the step above water, to take the step above land. All these things are completely possible if we allow ourselves to connect to the home frequencies, to receive the transmissions of ourselves. Because one thing that I that's just been in my head since we started is we all are in a space seeking, knowing, and wanting to have this abundance of knowledge. One, the knowledge is available to us if we find it. And yes, it does come in physical form once we match that vibration and frequency. It's in the ethers first, but then we match the frequency, the resonance of that feeling that it comes to us. But secondly, what's most important, I want people to remember that you, as an individual, have the power to activate yourself. You have the, dare I say, God given right to your soul, to the energy, to the full representation of your being. And yes, there are people like me and Lauren and everyone else out there who say, I can do these activations for you. But it's only with your permission, dear soul, that these activations can happen, meaning that you give yourself permission to receive what it is that you want to receive for your highest and best good, to be in this delicious, wonderful, luxurious energy, this heightened energy that we are emerging into right now.
Thank you for repeating that because that is very potent and powerful. You have power to activate yourself. And this is important because this is us interfacing with the quantum field, right? And what are the components that are necessary? You already know this. You started with gratitude and look at where that got you. And look at how gratitude changed your world. It opened all the doors for you. Just that gratitude.
Yeah, and sometimes it's as simple as saying, thank you for the water that I have to drink today. Thank you for the toothpaste that I have to brush my teeth. Thank you for a pillow to sleep on. We take the small things for granted. And it's those little things that are the most important. When we think about, and sometimes we often compare our living situation to a third world country. I mean, come on, we're like kings and queens, quote unquote. I have another story about that, about kings and queens. But it's that energy that we allow ourselves to be open and receptive to small things.
There you go. And that is what shifts our energy right there. And that is the importance of it. Beautiful. So I wanted to share a way that people can work with you because you do very activating personal sessions with people.
Yeah.
And what are you doing in these sessions when you work one-on-one with clients? Like just in 30 minutes, what goes on there? That's like a rapid fire activation.
Rapid fire indeed. And so typically in a 30-minute session is where we focus on one thing, whether if it's a personal trauma, feeling, emotion, something in the body, just one thing to focus on in those 30 minutes. Clear that path, open that path, and allow people to let that go. And in that process, we do a little bit of activation and they give permission because this is important with anything that I do. I always ask for permission. This is in my foundational one because if there's no permission, there's no receiving. You can't receive it. And so it's all through the process of, to simplify it, uh, guided meditation with potent energy of Sirian and Lemurian light through activated of galactic language, through activation of bringing in various diamond light and rainbow light to be of service.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And
You
so how does, when one goes to integrate that, um, what's that like for your clients?
know, the word that I hear most often is peace. Is when we do the check-in at the end is peaceful and things begin to click and things begin to make sense. And there's an opening where there wasn't an opening before because we live our life. We are cluttered because we have so much going on. We got to take care of the family. We got to do this. We got to go to work. We got to do this. So many things to clutter the life and mind. But in these 30 minutes is the time and present and gift for self. And in that, it is, well, what is it that can best serve me in these 30 minutes? Or if you want, we can do an extended time and do an hour. What can be best for me in this time? And it's all about what the individual wants because I just bring in the energy. I guide you through the process of integrating and knowing where the pieces fall and how to open up to receive and truly connect to yourself and allow your oversoul, your higher self, all these energies to really come in and play because that's what it's about. It's about play and really begin to enjoy life because that's the true purpose. The true purpose of us being here is to enjoy, to live, to learn, and to have all these many facets of this human vessel.
And so it's really our thoughts, our negative thoughts, our criticism of self and worry and things like this that actually prevent us from being in that joy. Is that what you
Yeah.
find with your
Yeah.
clients?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's more so the criticism of self, and what I
Oh,
assist people in,
hmm.
teaching them and guiding them is also mind the language in which we speak. Because
Yeah.
you just said something that was very important. You said it could be negative, when in fact it really is not negative. That's to me when I work with people, it's either lower frequencies or higher frequencies. And yes, we have the lower frequencies of fear, of anger, of hate. We have all of that. It exists. And love and joy can exist without the others. So there's really is no negative and positive, just where you are in the spectrum. And when you begin to understand the spectrum of energy, the hertzes and the ultraviolet lights and all these different frequencies, is when you see them, and I teach people this when they want to get an attunement from me, they begin to see things in a different way. It's like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Oh, I never thought about it that way. Oh, well, that's new. So it's really beginning to see the unseen.
And that's what a facilitator like you helps to uncover is the subconscious, what we are not aware of. And it just helps to have that outside perspective because we cannot see it so clearly as someone outside of us doing that. And
Yes.
so, what do you think about people who have remembrances? We get this question a lot. Remembrances of Lemuria, remembrances of Atlantis, and feeling responsible for how things went down. Have you dealt with people who carry that load of guilt or responsibility?
I am one of those people.
Me too.
And I will share my story as I
Okay,
sit
please
back,
do.
get a little bit emotional because um and it's fascinating because recently I've done research and read the books written by James Churchward. It's a series of
Yes,
5 books.
yes.
And when I got to, I think it was book 3 about the continent, the lost continent, that's when I got really emotional because
You remembered.
I remembered how I went down because and just the backstory so for people to have context. So
Okay, let's hold the line stable. Okay, we're waiting. We're waiting.
did I freeze again?
You did, and we're going to pick it right back up. You said, so moo, you were just
Yeah.
starting to talk about moo.
So Mu was a little bit bigger than Australia, just for context. It inhabited 10 million people, 10 different tribes, just for context. And so in one of the tribes, I was a scientist.
Mm.
And uh, and that's putting it loosely. And I was expressing to people what was happening, what was going to occur. And actually, now that I think I was in Mu twice, to be honest. I think I was there twice, to be honest. I'll go back in the other story. But I was a scientist in this particular incarnation. And I was expressing to people that the, oh, okay, it's all coming back. Moo Atlantis, and Moo, I was the emperor. I was a king. I was the emperor of Moo. But,
Wow. I can
and
see the emotion in your face.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
And
is it one of the last emperors or in anywhere in that timeline?
it was, it was, it was like the middle time,
Okay,
middle to end. There's no
okay.
exact time because everything just laps over. And then
Hmm.
I'll tell you about the scientist part.
Okay.
So because it was Moo, then Atlantis. So yeah, sorry. And so I was distressed because I knew what was happening. And this actually takes me back to the mentioning of what it meant to be a king. And my purpose, because I volunteered to come to Earth first, as I made this voluntary choice, I was gifted with information. I was gifted with wisdom. I was gifted with abilities because I volunteered. And that's what a king and queen or emperor means. It means the first to volunteer by choice. So we can get into that later. And as I felt this shift, because Mu was a new land mass the size of Australia or a little bit bigger, and in that it was very spongy, not very thick or dense like America or any other lands that we have now, because there was not enough lava or not enough bedrock to support a land of that mass. And so it was, as soon as it popped up, it began to sink over time. And since the landmass was set under gas belts, which meant, you know, constant earthquakes because the landmass and tectonic plates were shifting, constant eruptions around the land, which is near the Ring of Fire. If anyone knows where that is by Japan, so we know why that's there. So it brought back the memory of me being sad because I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to lose these people. And yes, there was a part of me that was very arrogant and very cocky, but it was a show for me not to put on my fear of what was truly happening. And as I died like everyone else, I came back in times of Atlantis. And being a scientist there, I knew what was happening, and no one would believe me because I say it's repeating itself. It's repeating. It's happening all over again. It's happening all over again, and no one would believe me. And it was just total destruction. I'm like, and so in the first civilization and in second civilizations, there was a lot of uh, naiveness, if you will, naivete. So people didn't believe because there was nothing to support anything. People, because we were very intuitive, we really trusted that. And if anyone else didn't have that trust or that feeling or those sensations, then they dismissed it, as opposed to looking at the science, the truth behind it all, the research, and presenting it, this information. And yes, part of me feel that there was my fault. But at the same time, I knew it was a learning experience that we all had to go through to create something even more magical, more beautiful, which is why we have the entire planet to create with now.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how did you get over that? Have you recovered from that
Mm.
guilt?
Mm-mm. No,
No.
no. Honestly, I don't think anyone that was in a position of power, knowing that your people would die, could ever get over that. You just have to move on.
Okay.
And,
All right.
because it's almost like you, almost like a Kazakami mission. You're gonna go. You're doing something. You know it's for the good, but you know you're gonna end up dying anyway. But the thing is, the learning in that is knowing how it can be prevented, knowing how to do better, knowing how to be better. And in each life that was successive, every experience was built upon because I've been here since the beginning of civilization. That's how old I am here. But my soul is much older. So just imagine I've been here and I've been told through my higher self, and it could be more, but the number is 200 times.
Wow.
Been here 200
200
times.
times.
Yeah.
Thank you for incarnating with your frequency and your light. All right. And so let's be here in the modern day, in the present day. What is your take on the world situation and what's the recipe for success?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Yeah, it's a very big loaded
I mean,
question.
the recipe for modernization is learning how to adapt, knowing how to change, which is why I feel that me coming back at this time when I did, allowed me to be very adaptable because of my upbringing. Being a Gen X kid. I mean, if you're a Gen X kid, you are super adaptable. I mean, things change that have died and growing up being, responsible. I remember having to take the bus to school, one bus and one train while living in Chicago to school when I was 10 years old. Well, my cousin would come, we would go to school together, but it was just us. So I mean, it was that level of trust and no cell phone. So if you got lost, you better
Yeah.
find your way home.
Or have 20 cents for the payphone.
Yeah, exactly. And know the numbers that you need to call by heart. So it was so living now is a space of adaptability. That's the recipe I feel, or the main ingredient rather for us living now in modern times, being adaptable, but yet also being open to knowing the truth and feeling what the truth is. Because the truth is what it is, but the energy that supports the truth changes. And that's what's most important is we allow ourselves to think, okay, I get it, I understand it, I know it, I feel it. And so now it is really beginning to understand what it truly means. I mean, and I've just been feeling all these shifts, all these changes, even now. I mean, there's, and I'm not sure if you are one of them, Lauren, but there are a handful of us right now that are going through a special initiation right now. I don't know if you are aware of this, but there's a handful of us going through a special initiation that would be completed by November. And
Ooh, I feel like I've been going through an initiation. I've actually used that term, and I've actually been doing some intense work, meditation, morning and evening. And I'm
yes,
feeling that there's many others feeling this as
yes,
well. How
yes.
would we know? How would we know? How would we know that we're going through an initiation?
Well, at the beginning of this year, I have a dear friend of mine who we often trade readings with each other. It's so cool. It's like, oh yeah, I have a question for you. Can I ask you? Sure. What's your question? So we go back and forth. And in one of our exchanges, she said to me, this was in February of this year. She's like, you're going to be going through an initiation process starting in June or March or July. Somewhere around. It's like, okay. And I feel like I've started right after she gave me that reading. So back in February, I feel like I've been in this initiation. And one of the things that you will notice for those who are going through this process is sleep habits are different. You may want to rest more when you don't want to. Your dietary choices may change to support you and the energy that is coming in, meaning like less meat, more fruits and veggies, or less carbs. And so it's like all these little nuances, like your body's craving. And I've been really good at listening to that. But one of the things that I've been really connected to and with is the craving for certain minerals. So because that's what the body is wanting. The body. So when I have a craving
Mhm.
for chocolate or have a certain craving for this and that, I know that my body is lacking a specific vitamin or mineral. So had uptake on my minerals doing fulvic and is it humic? I forget, but it's fulvic and the other one for minerals. So really uptake on that. So really listen to your body. And if your body's craving something, say, well, why are you craving this? What do you want? What's the purpose? And I literally have conversations. It's like, no, I want this. I'm like, well, why? Like, I need magnesium. Okay, I need to digest. It's like, I need more B vitamins. Or so it's like all these things, and that's what's the key component in all of this. Your body is getting ready to uptake energy because it's. I know we all heard this space of moving from carbon to crystalline, but what does that really mean? It means think of terms of a diamond. You get pressurized, right? And you form this diamond energy, but when it takes all this work, all this energy to compress this charcoal into the hardest matter on the planet. And so that's what's happening now. You require certain things to assist in this personal transformation. And so vitamins, more minerals, more rest, and just be easy with it, not take it too hard. I mean, because it's going to be over soon. Well, at least phase one anyway.
Okay, it'll be over soon. I love that word. It's temporal. It's
One of my
temporary.
favorite ones. Yes.
Yes. Okay, well, I think that the world is feeling an initiation. Let's
Some of
just
us more
say
than others, though. Yeah, for sure.
okay. All right. Some of us more than others, and some of us are more aware of it than others, but there is something underway, and it is, I love to say that it is a pressure cooker to surrender to love, a pressure cooker to choose love, and to like, what if nothing ever mattered? What if there was nothing wrong and all we have to do is focus on our vibration? That's
Mm,
really where I've been. And then
yes.
watching where I come out of that vibration and then changing it as fast as I can. So if that seems like it's an easy thing to do, or it's simple, but it may not be so easy, but we get stronger and better at it. And then we create a reality that we love that was like Lemuria. So that is the great remembering,
Remembering.
is how we are actually showing up in our essence moment to moment and being very present. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
We are really excited for your offering, Hillis. I want to share with everyone watching and listening. Certainly, you can feel the vibration of Hillis Pugh. You can feel the energy that you have inside you, and you can see where he can assist you in moving into higher levels, if you'd like, and actually receiving an attunement. What is that? So, we have a special offer from Hillis and it's a 30-minute session. He mentioned a little bit about this. This is a time for you to ask anything. What are some of the questions, Hillis? Is it anything under the sun, or do you like it to be a specific theme?
Well, it can be anything under the sun because remember, this is about you. And
Mhm.
if there is a physical ailment in the body, often connected to an energetic source. And so I work with you to uncover what the energetic source is. Because everything begins in energetic form first, the unseen, before it manifests in the physical space. We allow ourselves to take time to really begin to create a relationship with that, to dissolve it, to let it go, to think, I'm done. Next.
Next, who is done? I know there's many who are done, and that's why personal sessions like this are highly supportive. And I want to say a rapid fire 30-minute session allows you to cover a great amount of territory, and the price of this is highly attractive. This is such an incredible gift that Hillis is offering for you. So check it out. Check it out. A personal session with Hillis will have you shifted with your feet on the Lemurian ground of New Earth, with you remembering more about your soul essence. This is a reconnection to you, to your divine blueprint. And Hillis will assist you in unlocking that so that you can become conscious of it. Okay. Thank you for that. Again, that is available on the link in the description of this video and also on the webpage that got you here. Check it out and take this opportunity to work with Hillis. Imagine how you'll feel after this 30-minute session with Hillis. Thank you, Hillis. Is there anything else you'd like to add for those who are seeking your assistance?
Just take this time to honor yourself where you are, because where you are is the most important. As we allow ourselves to open up each moment to every moment and allow these moments to connect to the beauty that resonates inside of you, to the beauty that is you, to remember the beauty, just like the lotus of Lemuria. As we travel through the muck and mud of life, we all bloom, reaching for the stars, reaching for the sun, and then merging into this world of love.
Welcome to the world of love. Hillis will help you feel that and sense it and anchor it. Now I'm getting angel whispers on my arm. Wow. No, seriously, there is a presence here with us, and it
Yes,
feels so beautiful, so nurturing, and so soft. It
yes.
really is. I feel it's our Lemurian essences.
Yes.
Greetings to all the Lemurian essences. Are you feeling it too when you were watching this at home? That's you. That's you as a Lemurian. Own it, claim it, anchor it back on Earth. As we know, the etherics of Lemuria are still surrounding this planet. And as we remember all of it, we're anchoring that etheric net to our planet through our hearts. Hillis Pugh, thank you for this quantum conversation and thank you for sharing your beautiful sessions with our audience. I
Thank you,
say
Lauren. It's
bye.
been an honor and pleasure to connect with you and everyone watching.
Thank you. And we leave you in a high frequency of love.
Mm.
Namaste. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.